Urban legends. Spooky stories you talk about with your friends, whispers you hear from strangers. These are things that happen to other people, from this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy. But what happens when these spooky stories gain enough traction to affect entire communities? What happens when they spread real concern or real fear? In this video, I'll be looking into the urban legend that did just that. The story of the Kuchisake-onna, or the Slit-mouthed woman. According to the legend, a young woman is seen at night, often wearing a surgical mask, stalking her victim, often a child. She asks the child, "Do you find me beautiful?" If one answers no, then she kills them immediately. However, if one answers yes, she removes her mask to reveal her gashed mouth. She asks, "Am I still beautiful now?" And if you answer no, she kills you immediately. But if you answer yes, she slices your mouth open to match her own mutilated face. Others would say that she would leave you alone until she would come in the night to kill you in your sleep. There's no right answer, there's nowhere to turn, and she follows you everywhere you go. So there's nothing you can do. Or is there? This story, like many urban legends, have variations in the details, one of which is the many ways you can escape and avoid her clutches. One way is to make her think, ask her back, "Am I pretty?" Or answer quite bluntly, "You look okay." This prompts her to ponder for a while and actually give you time to run while she thinks about what you just said. Another way, and my personal favorite, is to throw candy or money at her. Specifically throw, as she likes candy, so you drop it in front of her and she'll actually stop to pick it up, allowing you to book it right out of there. And another way that I find funny is to say pomade or throw pomade. She doesn't like pomade, to the point that she just stops all attempts at murder just by the sound of the word, I think. That's what I'm getting. I could go on with all the other variations of her story, from her appearance, such as her red coat to hide the bloodstains of her former victims, or how she hides her face with a mask, or a scarf, or even a fan, or her many weapons, from scissors to knives, and even sickles. Or how she has an umbrella that allows her to fly, I think. I just found that on one site. Someone please verify for me. Someone please, I need to know. I just need to know this one detail. I need to know. So how did the slit-mouthed woman become so? Some would say that she was an adulterous woman, and that her husband, or perhaps a jealous woman, gashed her mouth so no one would ever find her beautiful. This might sound familiar if you're familiar with the concept of an onryo, or a vengeful spirit. A popular example of an onryo is The Grudge. Others would say it was a medical mishap, or a cosmetic mishap. She wanted plastic surgery, and the doctor was wearing pomade. So while operating on her, when he leaned in, she jerked away because she hated the smell so much, and the knife gashed her mouth open. Although I find it weird how she would target children more often than plastic surgeons if that were the case. So these are the stories of how the woman came to be. But how did the story come to be? Again, as with most urban legends, it's hard to find a source, and this one in particular, this story can be traced all the way to the Heian period. It did, however, gain traction centuries later, around the late 70s. In the early months of 1979, in a small town in the Gifu prefecture, a rumor had spread about a woman with a gashed mouth who was after children. A rumor that had gained enough traction for local newspapers to talk about it. Even newspapers from another town eventually did. And it got so bad that there had to be patrols on the streets, and grown-ups had to accompany young children, young students after cram school, which would usually end at night when the slit-mouthed woman was known to lurk. And these cram schools were just the place for these rumors to spread. Students from different areas and different schools would find each other here. Things are passed on, rumors are whispered, stories are spread. Soon enough, frightened children would translate to concerned parents, concerned teachers. And it was a cause for concern. I mean, a terrifying woman was targeting children at night in a place that would usually be known for its safe streets. So, how did this story come up again? How did it get so popular and gain this much traction? And I'm sure there are a lot of theories, but I've found two. In an interview with Ikura Yoshiyuki from this article titled Japanese Urban Legends from the Slit-Mouthed Woman to Kisaragi Station, cram school started in the evening, and when they ended, children came out in groups onto the night streets. They saw adults they had never seen before, like women going out to their nightlife entertainment jobs or drunks on their way to bars. And as he notes, this boosted anxiety among the young students about the possible presence of people who could hurt them. I mean, in Japan you can see kids as young as 8 years old commute to school or even run some errands on their own. They're quite independent, but beyond independence, they're also taught to trust their community. Social trust, as one article states. These kids know that they can trust the safety of their streets and rely on their community in an emergency. So when they see adults, these people they're taught to trust in a different light, that can be jarring, to say the least. And this would definitely fuel the initial rumors and spark something. Another theory comes from a real event. In 2007, a coroner found an old record from the late 1970s involving a woman who was chasing down little kids until she was hit by a car and died. And what they found from her corpse was that her mouth was gashed from ear to ear. I'm not quite sure when this happened, and my research hasn't led me to an exact date or even an exact year, but it's quite possible that this must have fueled or even sparked the rumors of the slit-mouthed woman coming out to hunt children. Again, if anyone can confirm or tell me anything about this, I'd love to know. So, this is an old story. From the Heian period to all the way in the 70s, it's still a story that persists. People still talk about it. Different regions have their own takes and details on it. And she even appears and is mentioned in different movies, from The Ring to Studio Ghibli's Pompoko. There's a whole series of Kuchisake-onna movies, Carved, Carved 2. Another movie, The Slit-Mouthed Woman 0, The Beginning, which was released around the same time, or at least the same year as Carved 2. And later in 2012, the movie Kuchisake-onna Returns. Maybe I'll do a movie review for those some other time. I'd mention her appearance in the manga and anime of Mob Psycho 100, but I haven't even watched that yet. And I hear there is a difference to her portrayal in the anime, and she's closer to the urban legend in the manga. There's a version in Korea involving this red-masked woman, although which one came first is not something I feel I have enough knowledge on to discuss. I mean, there was even a haunted house attraction in the Yanagase shopping arcade in Gifu Prefecture called Kyofu no Hosumichi. I hope I did not butcher that completely, but I probably did. The narrow road of terror. It went on from 2012 to 2019, and it was a pretty good run, but it was until 2019, so it's gone now, I think. And there's even a Minecraft skin for her, a slit-mouthed woman Minecraft skin, and I'm not gonna lie, it's adorable. Even Z has cosplayed her in Animal Crossing, and yes, I managed to squeeze in Animal Crossing in this one too. So yeah, the slit-mouthed woman is a story, a figure that persists and will continue to persist. In this day and age, a woman wearing a mask wouldn't be much cause for alarm. The rumors of her return have subsided over the last 40, 50 years. One can only wonder when she'll be back. If she'll be back. But if a beautiful woman with a mask approached you the next time you go out for supplies, would you chance talking to her? Let us know.